Wow. Was I the only one watching that? Because I am shocked. Speechless. But since so many of you seem to fail to grasp how bad that clip was, I call it a clip because to call it film or a movie, that's shameful. What I just witnessed was a movie with a title that was irrelevant to the film. There was nothing involving the phrase 30 minutes later in that film. That film wasn't even 30 minutes. I have a bad taste in my mouth right now for calling it film. Ugh. It's just so bad. Okay, so I think that whoever was filming this, whichever one of you 15-year-old punk kids that so shamefully filmed this, you don't understand what composition is. Do you want me to define it for you? Because I think that you need someone to do that. You really need to understand composition. Because if you just follow around a guy with a camera and then call it a scene or a shot without any regard to where his placement is on the frame, shameful. Absolutely shameful. Also, this sun shot, the final battle that you all love so much and thought was such a good idea. Oh, I think I'm gonna puke. Ugh, it's bad. That sun shot is so terrible. You never see that shot in a real film. You never see that shot. And if you do come across a professional shot that's into the sun, they usually have quite a bit of equipment protecting the lens and the camera from getting burnt because it's facing the sun. You didn't have that equipment. And I could tell because the sun was so bright that it enveloped the entire frame and put a little black hole in the center where it was slowly burning a hole into your lens. So when you take that camera back to your TV production class and the teacher asks, why is the camera fucked up? You can go ahead and take the blame. Also, the storyline, well, if there was a storyline, it falls apart because from what I get, one of your friends dies while you're hanging out, gets murdered. And then you're so shocked and you have to find the killer that, oh, keep in mind, the killer, he climbs through a fan in the bathroom, which would have no, vents that you could crawl through. Also, he couldn't have screwed that fan plate back on after he got up there, nor could he have fit through there, even though he's a small guy. The storyline falls apart because if one of your friends were murdered in the bathroom while you're hanging out, you would call the cops. Not necessarily the cops, you would call 911 to get an ambulance, because maybe they could still make it. And the cops would probably show up because it was a murder. You wouldn't go Scooby-Dooing around looking for clues in your closet like that one kid did for the whole movie. Sat there looking in his closet like he's going to find that killer hiding in there. Again, the entire thing falls apart once you notice that you didn't shoot a silent film. You shot a regular video and then took the sound out and then just prayed that everyone could understand what the dialogue would be. That is a slap in the face. Just the silent film, because if you ever watch a real silent film, they weren't idiots. They figured ways to get the dialogue across so that you could understand what they would be saying to each other. You obviously didn't use a tripod. There's no excuse for not having a tripod because you could easily make one out of a rolling chair, a stack of books. You could set the camera down on something. But you weren't quite inventive enough to do that. Oh. As my cameraman is pointing out, were you nervous or something through the whole entire film? Because it's pretty shaky. It's not that hard to hold a camera still. It's pretty easy thing to do. I can do it. Sam usually can do it, but I think that you left a bad impression on him. As you will leave a bad impression on film as a whole after publishing this on YouTube. Because there was nothing about that film that could be called art. There is nothing about that film that could be called work or pride. Nothing.